You're not exactly going to be waving any fingers. As soon as that Corki Caitlyn was locked in, it was pretty much autopilot from there, and honestly, it feels pretty standard. That being said, there is a lot to be interested in when it comes to Live Sandbox. I think the Hecarim is really, really cool, and Croco, empowered by the Yuumi, this is like one of those moments where it's Hecarim, you know how he can just run a million screens away from his team? At least now he will have one teammate with him. You know? Yeah. It's real rough. So we'll like to see Croco spend some time there towards the bottom side of the map. And here we are on the Rift for game number 1. Live Sandbox, which is to be expected. And you say that, you know, farm junglers aren't necessarily as popular as Ice. Going to get bound up here. Peacemaker comes on in. Slight cancel of an auto there, but Gumayusi certainly sending the correct message there. And the T1 bottom lane continues to be good. But as I was going to say... Okay, never mind. Zeus looking for a bit of a trade here towards the top side. Dove, absolutely no mana. Does have flash, so isn't going to die, but losing out on this trade. So as I was going to say... Oh, never mind. Faker taking a bit of damage there in the mid lane.
Okay, now you can.
Yeah, and as I was going to say, Hecarim is a farm animal as a horse, and therefore is probably more allowed to farm. It's got a flash forward, and that is first blood solo kill to Closer. Oh my goodness, Ona not going to be able to trade that one back, as now Croco coming in towards the top side as well. Zeus is just going to have to die. Doesn't want to give over the assist to Croco. And I wasn't even allowed to say it. I still said it and I got punished. Damn, T1 also absolutely punished here in this early game, outside of here on the bottom side.
And just flashing in.
Yeah, I was a little bit greedy.
Yeah, Faker just walking in range.
탑도 나이스.
As this is one of the reasons why you always have to respect the Dragon. It's nicely done by Zeus, because I think that an assist on Croco would have been fine, but actually giving over a kill to the Hecarim this early would have been disastrous. Oh, Closer. Not again.
Yeah, it's not so good. As he's going to get the stuns up, and there's the flash forward, misses the Q. The T1 once again. Closer just outplaying him.
Actually utilize, or keeping the flash means that you can also be much farther up without being nearly as scared. The rest of the map though, T1 needs to play respectful as Croco Ghosts.
Yeah, that is going to be the Q landing onto Closer. There's the kickback, special delivery, and it's actually Ona that locks down the kill. Croco now taking a lot of damage from Faker, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end. You'll take that if you're a Sandbox fan, as here on the bottom side, Gumayusi to get some damage down onto Kale. Ice, the bottom block, helping keep the bottom lane of Live Sandbox alive, but CS margins certainly not looking all that healthy.
And I gotta say, as Carrier...
Binding comes on in, Carrier's in trouble, as Ice also almost dead. The exhaust comes through onto Gumayusi, and he does have Ace in the hole, but I don't think has vision right now onto the Jhin, so isn't going to pull that trigger. Very, very good. It's T1. Gonna have to deal with the fact that Croco is there. He does have the ulti available, but he's gonna get bound. Dove now looking for an opportunity. Zeus still charging up the Naba as in goes Croco. The curtains are being called as well as they take down Gumayusi to start this one off. Ona is going to survive, but Zeus is still massive in the backline. That's a double kill on both of the tanks as Kale's running for the hills and the Q will connect. There's the kick flashes. Ona's not done yet, and the four of them are mopped up.
And Zeus had his ready at just the right time to get a big, effectively two-man, but you know, Kale was there as well. So stun and win that team fight. 2-1 feeling a lot better. Ona here on bot side again has Dragon's Rage available.
Very sneaky as there's the final chapter. They are trying to bait this one in as Gumayusi's going to flash, get himself out of the way. Onslaught comes on in as Croco gets rid of Gumayusi from this fight. Closes come down though, so the man advantage there for Live Sandbox. The kickback not really going to do too much as Gumayusi's doing some alcove gaming that he really does not want to. Wants to get a kill back onto Croco, but will fail to do so as Live Sandbox clean up a couple of kills with their man advantage bot lane.
They are the ones that are firmly heading ahead. Although, it's 30 minutes in and we haven't seen a single Drake yet.
Yeah, no one actually looking towards the Dragons whatsoever.
Just fight. Yeah. Drakes are irrelevant if you can just fight each other.
That's exactly right. As Croco's running forward for even more fighting, Chronicler. And he's just going to walk past Faker. The flash comes in, but he waits for it. It doesn't really matter. He is just going to helicopter down the man in the helicopter. Very unfortunate.
If there was a cask, I think maybe they could have knocked back and traded a little bit better.
Do you think that's enough control wards in that brush?
No. No, I need more.
You're going to need 5. So that's the maximum. Zona taken down to about half health here. He's going to flash, get himself out of the way. Onslaught of Shadows does basically nothing, as that's a big Gnar onto 3 into the wall. Back goes Ona, and he's actually going to be able to get the kill onto Dove and make it out. Now Carrier and Gumayusi trying to lock down the remaining members, and Closer not going to have anywhere to go. Kale as well is now just a cat by itself. And that is definitely not good news as T1 look to take down Shirley as well. And man, I don't know how this game has turned into such a snowball, but T1 have done it.
That is overextending and allowing Dove to flank, right? Because if at any point there's a deep ward or Croco gets into the back line.
Yeah, Faker holding onto his flash though, as they're going to set themselves up. That is a fantastic gravity field as Faker will get taken down, and that is just a swift pick-off. Faker not wanting to use the flash.
Yeah.
As here on the bottom side, Dove doing a bit of damage there to Zeus, but I don't think too much is going to come of it. Oh my goodness, Zeus does so much damage on this. Nah.
Yeah, Zeus and Owner are good off-tanks. If Zeus actually has Magnar available, then he's going to be hard to focus down. But the rest of that team...
This is not where Ice wants to be, as the Q is going to connect, and Owner, yeah, shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with this. Flashes after him, gets the kick, Q's going to land, and Owner will pick it up so easily. Faker fighting against Closer here, and right now Closer is winning out. Minion wave is what Faker's really concerned about, though, as the rest of T1 are rotating up. And Closer, you're going to have to do some pretty interesting shenanigans to get yourself out of this one. Killing Faker is definitely a decent move, as yes, the TP could also work. Owner doesn't have his kick, and he's just going to see whether he can get himself a kill. Instead, he flashes, Final Spark comes in, and Closer's just dead. So there are a few things that could have happened, but they didn't, as Gumayusi now trying to throw out some autos onto the horse. The horse just canters away gloriously. There's just a lot of potential carries here on T1. You need to be aware of absolutely everyone. Zeus now actually on a face check here just a little bit. Croco and Dove not wanting to even fight it. They're like, this guy is too strong. Crush comes out, and the explosive cast comes on in. Owner looks for an opportunity as Dove is the target that they're looking for. Blast Cone gets Faker over there, and oh my god, the damage. Zeus going to finish that one off. Onslaught of Shadows used defensively is the worst feeling for a Hecarim player put down there. So a little bit of a shame as Croco thinks he's found Faker yet again. Goes for a little bit of a Valkyrie and then discovers he is really dead. And he's just going to get picked off. A little bit unfortunate. Live, something
nice
that we might actually... Okay, no. It's the horse in the Thunderdome. Not exactly where he wants to be, and he's just going to get taken down. Carrier explodes on the backline, though, as Closer is very scary. Gumayusi flashes into Ice, and that's a target that he actually wants to try and fight. Not going to be able to do so, though, as Zeus is the one tidying up. Owner's here as well. No one to safeguard, though, and he is going to... Oh, God, the boulder toss is just too much damage. And now it is Owner and Zeus looking for this opportunity. As Closer's like, oh, God, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do here, but... Doesn't have a kick, it doesn't actually matter. He's got a Q, and that is going to complete the ace. A messy fight for T1, but as we mentioned, as Carrier misses the binding, Croco getting taken down relatively low. It is going to be the Mountain Soul, but can Live Sandbox find themselves a hero fight? Closer getting closed in on here. Gravity Field is decent, good light binding, but no follow-up. Croco's able to trot his way out. Q doesn't connect. Jonah Strong thought that one might happen, as there it is, the kickback. Onto Closer, and they do manage to secure it. Oh my goodness, they can't even get the kill onto Owner here, as Faker once again is going to fall down. Dove up towards the top side, but just too weak to make his way out. Wanted to get the snipe onto Carrier, but the shields are just too big. And we just got a teleport from Zeus. He's like, yeah, nah, I'm kind of finished with this game. And he's going to look to take down these Nexus turrets. The rest of Live Sandbox are scattered to the wind. And Zeus now with a few more autos will be able to do it. Throws a house around as Croco has managed to make it back. And they haven't even done any damage to Zeus yet. Can he actually get the work done, as there's a good stun into the wall? Ice will get taken down as Gumayusi does so much work. If he puts a couple of autos into this Nexus, it's game over. But we're going to see if we can get a couple of kills before that one happens. Gumayusi doesn't want to really fight a Fountain Laser, but it seems like the only one that can do as much damage as him, and he'll settle for the Nexus. T1 managed to take down Live Sandbox in the end.
And then when it came to the latest stages, they were just so on point. And I mean, Zeus's game, like, I can't talk enough about it, because he did, like, doing the
Nah, you just play full AP Gragas.
He might. I personally think that, considering what they're playing into and what they have, I think the Gragas is a nice pickup, and that you would still want to go tank regardless.
Yeah. And we'll see whether the Viego can actually get off the ground here for Owner. And here we are, onto the Rift for game number 2. T1 being able to stream ahead. If they win this, then they are undefeated for the first 2 weeks.
It has decent setup between the chompers and everything that Fresh provides, so
yeah,
honestly, no reason not to go for it. But they are playing ST1, so it's an unfortunate scenario.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of want to pick it away as well. As Dove going to get barreled and booped a little bit here by Santa Gragas. But we're going to see Dove scale into this matchup, right? So Zaya's going to have an okay time in the early stages. I got the hiccups just a little bit, so you'll have to bear with me there. No problem. Those things. Okay, Zaya has another drink. Throw him away towards Fakey again. Okay. Oh, man. See, it does work out quite well. You know, you get yourself some of your own rockets, and things are great. As Closer does, of course, have the Kingslayer available. It's a good hook from Carrier, though. As he decides to go in. Flash comes out. Ignite is there, and it's ticking onto Carrier as well. Has to flash to escape the final rocket there. A lot of summoners traded. There's another battle here towards the top side of the map. Dove around the Rift Herald for now. So, now going to start it up. Let's see. The rocket going to clear out that mid wave. So mid control, package acquired, fresh shop for the Gragas. As Fake, okay, gonna get hooked. Wow, that was some range and some hitbox from the dredge line. As now we're gonna go for a 50-50. Owner locks it down, as now Zayas is in trouble, running away from this one. Super Mega Death Rocket comes down as Dove is just going to get that needlework through, and Owner comes down. Oh, not able to get the eye. Unfortunate. Live Sandbox, actually, as that happens, but will be. He's got the Leeching Leer. He will be able to heal himself back up again, as we've got a bit of a lane swap, yeah.
And I don't know if Live Sandbox is really ready for this. Kyle is on the top half of the map, and it might have some suggestion.
Oh, the hook barely going to miss. And by barely, I mean actually quite a decent miss, but that's the playback, and Dove is still dead. Gumayushi throws out the Super Mega Death Rocket, and Zaya stays alive. And so the beginning of this lane swap working out very well. Trades of rockets here as salvos go backwards and forth, but here on the top side is where it's all about. Dredgeline going to connect once again. KL's just landing amazing ones. And the pillar.
Faker's like, not playing Hecarim now. Are you? Huh? Huh? I'm safe. Look at me.
Feels a lot better. That being said, it will be pretty frustrating if he gets like interrupted out of a Valkyrie with a pillar and he's like, curses. As Kale, yeah, that was not the dredge line you wanted to take. It's great body slam as the CC is just everywhere. Super Mega Death Rocket might have been overkill, but it's still going to get the kill as Croco with the subjugate there as the package. This one was used offensively, and Owner picks that one up as he's transforming into absolutely everyone. That's a pillar that will guarantee the zap, but I have a feeling that Live Sandbox might be okay underneath this turret, but the turret may not be as much.
And 15 seconds till the Chemtech Drake. T1 can pick that one up.
Oh, dear.
More control here. Oh, I don't think you need to go for this T1. It's okay.
Look at these rockets from over the side. Faker, unanswerable.
But you also see that's exactly the type of mistakes I think you need to avoid. Yeah, good TP.
Yeah, Teleport going to get Faker out of there, and does mean that Close is going to waste some time there towards the top side of the map. And yeah, this is just, it's ring around the rosy.
But this is the beauty, right? Like, it works twofold, because yes, he used it to get out of the gank, but the rest of the Sandbox is trying to collapse on Faker, thinking that he might be a weak spot, but instead he teleports towards the mid lane, where the rest of his team is standing ready with a wave, and they just get a free turret, and this has been happening, basically.
As Ice, it's a little bit dangerous, that positioning. Vision's still there for T1. Faker's going to take one of his own rockets, and actually, Ice did a fair bit of damage there. Calibrum at the ready. Crescendum there as well. The team fight tools are available, but now T1 walking on in. Dredgeline going to connect. The depth charge as well. They're trying to focus down the Gragas, and they will get him as these rockets from Closer are doing a lot of work, and T1 going to have to back away and give over the Chemtech Drake to Live Sandbox. A great play from them. Closer starting to assert his dominance here on the Silas.
And there you do see where the comp of Live Sandbox excels, right? We mentioned previously, if they can find a single target, they go through very quickly. I think Zeus maybe feeling a little false, safe sense of security considering how tanky he is, but for Gwen. That's not a lot.
Oh no, Ice caught out of position. Good dredge line there though from Kale to try and stop him from going down as Croco. He's not going to be so lucky. Closer turns up again a little bit too late, but he left his team for the Wolves. And the Wolves have consumed them. Kale now trying to flash his way out. Titan's Wrath kept him alive for a little bit longer, but now Gumayusi is excited, and why wouldn't he be, as he's picking up so many of these kills. The Moonlight Vigil goes absolutely wide, and in the end, it's an ace for T1.
Don't ask me how they did it, Atlas, but this is vintage T1 right there. Looking like they lose a fight on mid, baiting in your opponent, and then looking like they might just end right here, right now.
Yep, they certainly could. And 404 Jinx was not found by Liv Sandbox in that team fight, I think is what that scoreline is telling us. These Nexus turrets not long for the world, and from what looked like, Liv Sandbox making a decent play, finding themselves a skirmish, has ended up with a dead Nexus. And first it's going to be a dead Croco just for a little while longer, and Kale is also going to suffer the same fate, but the Nexus is not going to survive, and T1 will do it in just over 25 minutes. And not exactly overly celebratory towards the end there, but definitely getting a lot of work done. And Faker as well this time having a much better time on the Corki, getting the damage down, but Zeus as well, I mean, he just gets damage out of any champion that he plays. Really nicely done.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season with the POG interpret translation, joined by Zeus and Gumayusi from T1. Congratulations! With this victory, T1 is now having a sole possession of the first place in the LCK. How do you feel? Yesterday, Hana Life Esports was able to get a game off of Gen G, so yeah, we were able to climb up to the first place. It feels awesome. And this is my first interview with you, Zeus. How are you feeling? First off, I don't think I performed well today. So it feels great to win the POG, but still I'm a little bit unsatisfied. I didn't perform. But Zeus, rumors say that T1 is doing a fantastic job in Scream, so could you kind of tell us more about it? We are pretty much close to not being defeated. Just kidding. Well, I think, yeah, we don't really lose much. We can say that. However, and there's a jinx about, a team that's really strong in scrims cannot actually win a lot on stage. So how strong was T1 compared to the Scream T1? Well, game number 1 wasn't that clean, but I think game 2 was decent. What about you, Zeus? I mean, Gumayusi in Scream is way stronger than he was today. So, Gumayusi, Corki was T1's mid-lane pick for game number 1 and 2, a champion that is not that strong early on in the laning phase. Well, we didn't have any specific strategy about Corki's laning phase. It's just good in general, especially later on. So we just want to secure that pick. And I think we'll keep using the champion in the future. Zeus, your Gnar was popping off in game number 1, a champion that actually debuted LCK last year. I think today was even better. So does T1 kind of trust your Gnar pick? I don't know how my teammates think, but Gnar is one of my comfort pick for sure. The Gnar bar control or everything. I'm really good at it, but I don't know what others think. What do you think, Gumayusi? It's alright, It's good. Are you being strict to him? No. I mean, he was doing alright. That's what I think. Speaking of Gnar bars, yeah. You were always turning into Mega Gnar whenever team fights were about to happen, and you were actually did second most damage in that game. And you are the youngest champion here in the LCK, but you are so good at that champion. So how long has it been since you practiced that champion? I mean, since last year, to be honest, because that champion got buffed last year. But you know, that's not a Nar is not a difficult champion to kind of execute, so it's really fun to play. Guma Yusi, Caitlyn Lux are the two strongest champions, not on the bottom lane in terms of the laning phase, right? Do you also agree? I don't think they're like the best, but as long as me and Kara get to play them, every champion becomes the best. Game 2, you had a phenomenal performance on Jinx. Didn't really have too much action happening, but Nautilus was not able to finish his first item up until 24-minute mark in the game. So are you getting close to becoming the best AD carry in Korea? I think I've pretty much secured it, but I want to be the best AD carry in the world. Looking forward to accomplish that title this year. And Aphelios versus Jinx matchup is actually in a huge favor of Jinx. What do you think about that matchup as well? I have already mastered that champion matchup, so I'm pretty much confident in either side. My Aphelios, you know, everyone knows about it, and I'm so good at Jinx as well, so if I get to play either of them, I will still win the lane. And Zeus, you are also farming a lot of experience here on the LCK, but I think you are fully improved now. Do you also agree with that? I don't know, you know. I mean, I think I have to become a lot better and improve. I have a long way to go. What is your personal goal this year? First off, you know, getting the best result in the LCK, maybe winning the LCK. Your next opponent is Nongsin Red Force. You guys will be playing against Kana. Zeus, what is your mindset heading into that match? Kana, he's doing a great job. You know, he's really talented. So I think I have to prepare really well. These days, Peter, he's so cute. He looks so cute. I mean, I want to bully him until he cries. Lastly, we have a packed stadium of T1 fans. Any message over to them? Thank you for showing up here. You know, I really appreciate all the support. Thank you. Today as well, I'm so happy to see so many fans supporting us, and we will do our best to stay on top of the LCK. Thank you. Congrats once again, Guma Yusi and Zeus on the victory, and now back to Valdez and Wolf for the analyst task. Thank you.